Good morning, good morning. This is Monday morning, Society Shame. This is Society Shame, and this is a live podcast on Anchor FM, Society Shame. It's Media Monday. Now, if you've seen my broadcast on Facebook, social media, I gave external hard drive. I gave a little stick to Rachel Madigan from Fox 45. Also the photo dogs. I videotaped it. It's about the corruption in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. I names the names of the politicians, the judges, the lawyers. It gives a very detailed breakdown of your criminal enterprise behind the prison industry. I'm a prisoner's right advocate. A lot of y'all can't see this, but you go to Society Shame. If you go to Dwayne Davis on Facebook right now, you can see what I'm talking about. I got what you would call a studio. This is a audio studio and a visual studio. This is a studio where I can do my podcast and broadcast. This is a paper mache doll of President Trump. And this paper mache doll of President Trump has President Obama on his mind because they've been in competition from the beginning. But this paper mache picture of Donald Trump has this information. I gave it to him in July and in August. It's about a whistleblower's application on your prison industry. And it shows the media's role. Now, Fox 45 knows me famous for this rat and this paper mache head of Donald Trump because during Donald Trump's event last year, that's what I use. I use art and activism. Art is a form of protest. All right. That's what I use. Art is a form of protest. Now, if you look up here on this hat, that's my Schaefer hat. And you see on top of the Schaefer hat is Governor Hogan's dog. Governor Hogan gave me that dog in 2016. Governor Hogan, Mayor Pugh, we was at the Christmas party over in West Baltimore. All right, he gave me that dog and told me to go away. But I ain't going nowhere. I gave Governor Hogan a whistleblower's application in 2014. Governor Hogan's been avoiding me and been ignoring me for the last about 6 years. Since 2014, it's 2020. And everything I'm telling you, you can go to Governor Hogan's office. Governor Hogan know me personally. You seen me shake hands with him. I ran against Governor Hogan. Like I said, that's my Schaefer and Hogan hat. I'm making comedy out of this. The rat and the president. Media Monday. Today is the first day of Kweisi Mfume's job as congressman. Kweisi Mfume is the oversight committee for the prison industry. Part of his job is accessing the grand jury. Now, I got this table here because y'all made me famous for toilets. And I hope you can hear this. We getting ready to flush some careers down the hole. I got a table here that I'm going to give to Fox 45. I'm going to give to Fox 45 and I'm going to put it in front of your businesses. That's Kai Jackson and Mary Mubala. All right. That's Harriet Tubman. We talk about crime and justice. That case right there is crime and justice. Blacks have no rights in which white America respects. This is my prison interview with WJZ. I did a prison interview with Adam May, and it was about the prison industry, and this is in 2011. I told y'all about the abuses of power by the guards, by the county officials, and by the government. If you look at that, that's the... Before I had the toilet on the TV, today I got the TV on... before I had the TV on the toilet. Today I got the toilet on the TV. I just flipped it as an irrational fraction. Y'all made me famous for toilets, but this woman right here, Valerie Cummings, she's running for mayor. She's also a witness in everything that I'm telling you. She worked for Senator Van Hollen. She worked for Frank Conway. She was the secretary on Frank Conway when I gave Frank Conway this information. Frank Conway is the clerk of the court, and Frank Conway destroyed a lot of evidence. Now, as we move down this table, we move up to this table. Like I say, I know 85% of the richest people in the state. I know governors, senators. I know players and presidents. And right there is Ray Lewis. All right. Me and Ray Lewis been knowing each other since Ray Lewis came to Baltimore when Ted Marshall Brody was coach. Ray Lewis came to my store. I know when Ray Lewis lost his dog. I know a lot about Ray Lewis. At the bookstore when Ray Lewis did his book signing at Barnes & Noble out in Owings Mills on Reisterstown Road. Shared a lot of stories with Ray Lewis. And in this conversation, we talked about the media. We talked about how they demonize black people. So I told Ray Lewis about a soft fuck and a hard fuck. Ask Ray Lewis about it. Conversation is real. It's media day. It's media day, and this is commode motion. Toilet outside the Towson courthouse creates bomb scare. All right. The Baltimore Sun knew that this toilet was about Scott Shellenberger in the prison industry. They knew this toilet was about mass incarceration. It was my legal form of protest. See, when a black person protests, it's a bomb or it's threatening or it's intimidating. But on the backside, March 3rd, 2011, when the Westboro Baptist Church do it, it's held in the Supreme Court. First Amendment cited. Church picketed Marine's funeral. I got a right to expose the corruption in your courts. And I use the toilet to do it. See, a toilet don't care if you black, white, straight, or gay. A toilet take your shit every day. And with this toilet comes a conversation. You feel me? Y'all stole this from Africa. I'm the lion of my village. And these are the butterflies. So these are the butterflies you stole from Africa. The beauty that you stole from Africa. This is my African heritage. These are my people. Those are my forefathers. All right. So I'm giving you a roundabout idea about this prison industry. We traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and we the cash crop. It's a letter to my mother when I was locked up. Because like I said, you stole us from our families. You stole us from our families in Africa, and you stole us from our families in America. Those are fatherless families when mothers are holding their children without their fathers. You feel me? But they still birthing kings. I know about my heritage. I know about my Africa. And my mama taught me that. That's 2011. Received June 1st. Honorable Susan Sauter. Dear Judge Sauter, this is illegal information the State Shellenberger, as well as the lawyer, Mr. Saunders, did not show you during the bond hearing. All right. My lawyer worked with the state's attorney to keep me incarcerated. That's my attorney-client privilege. All right. My lawyer conspired to deny me my civil and constitutional rights. They lied to the grand jury, and he permitted that lie to go to the grand jury. My book is called The Minority Report. I was ready to go to Las Vegas, Nevada. I had everything in that truck that y'all took from me. Media. They got a thing called, what was it called? Portraits of a Letter. It was all about the media. All right. I respectfully asked the court concerning the release of my property, a computer, video camera, SD cards, videos, storyboards, my truck, and the keys. Also the banner I left in the Towson turnabout. I've been asking for my lawyer to tell you about the court and making this movie. The toilet is a movie prop, as well as a focal point of the movie. My lawyer needs to file a replevin act, and it's my right to have my property. All right? It's court ordered. That's my lawyer. Like I said, I got books of this. This is Media Monday, and this is where it all started. Because, see, I gave this to the Baltimore Brew in 2011, long before I got locked up. This toilet was sitting in front of the Baltimore City School Board in January, and nobody locked me up for this toilet. That's Fern Shen. And if you go to Fern Shen, she has this information. Fern Shen has all this information. And if you look at that toilet, the people on this toilet was the Baltimore City and Baltimore County delegation. That's Sarbanes up there. All right. And if you look at the toilet and get the pictures from Fern Shen, it exposes the Democratic Party. I'm a caterer. I work for y'all. Pit beef, chicken, ribs, Italian sausages. That's Tim Williams. Marty Bass know me. All right. Jane Miller know me. Everybody know me. And that's from 9/3/2011. All right. After I won my case. Updated. By the end of the Baltimore County were reporting the device was harmless and that they had a suspect. Yeah, it was harmless. Media Mondays. Fox 45 got some information from me today. This is part of the information I gave Fox 45. This is from 2018. I'm showing you years of corruption. And I'm showing you that Governor Hogan, Bobby Zirkin, and the House Judiciary Chairman, Valario, been shielding that corruption. Because like I said, Governor Hogan got the same information. We can do this with a nomad hearing. All right. We can do all this with a nomad hearing. I was filming my movie Letters Designed by Rob Fix. I was held 186 days. Yeah. On the back of the yellow folder, you'll see case number. That's the case number. That Shellenberger knowingly lied to the grand jury. That's Ozzie Newsome. This is Sports Illustrated. Like I said, Media Monday. This is Sports Illustrated. That's Ed Mulatolo of the Ravens. All right? And I worked for Ed Mulatolo. I fed Yonda. I fed Jonathan Ogden. I fed the Ravens from 1997 to 2008. That's how long I've been feeding the Ravens. All right? Y'all didn't lock me up for this toilet. That was the shoe shine kit, because I ain't the shoe shine boy. And I put all the politicians' names and addresses on there. Certified mail receipts. I was exposing Gov.O'Malley and his mom machine. I was exposing ABC2 News, how they use their news to demonize black people to protect the politicians. You talk about tough on crime? No, you just tough on the black community. And I put Shellenberger right in it. Y'all didn't say nothing about that toilet. And I took his campaign sign and put it everywhere. See that? That's 2009. Y'all locked me up in 2011. If y'all had this toilet in 2009, why did you lock me up in 2011? Camera don't lie. White people do. This the meet and greet. Because like you say, it's Media Monday. And the media was showing this Kathleen Pugh and all the invites to the new commissioner, Mr. Harrison. Well, Mr. Harrison just came here to protect the corruption here in Maryland. He came here to lock black Baltimore to keep your prison industry going. Your job or lose your job when he came here. And Media Mondays, go get all the videos of me and his conversation. Go get his introduction to Baltimore, because he was introduced to me very rudely. That's your number one crime suspect. She can sit here and snitch on the whole crime machine. If she want to get out of jail, her get out of jail is snitching on the rest of them people. Matter of fact, I ain't heard nobody say, I haven't heard the media say, is she in jail or not? Did y'all give her a pass? Because y'all ain't said nothing about if she went to jail on April the 27th. I want to know. That's Lake County Sheriff. Like I said, Media Monday, 2007. Freedom of Information Act, March 2007. Commode motion. Part of the Central Towson became standstill Monday morning. Monday morning madness. All right, the porcelain toilet festooned with newspaper clippings, an electronic transmitter. Wasn't an electronic transmitter. It was a cell phone with the number of the FBI on it and the Department of Justice on it. It was exposing Shellenberger, Judge Turnbull, Bobby Zirkin, and your corruption in Baltimore County courts, the money you make off of locking up black bodies. That's what that bomb was. It was a bomb because it was going to send y'all to jail. It was showing you monopoly. That's Stephen Moore, chief of staff, all right? And that's President Obama. I showed you where you denied me bail and bonds and all that. And y'all did stories on me constantly. Mainstream media. Adam May, Mary Mubarak, Kai Jackson. Y'all ran stories on me 3 times a day. Man, constantly. But just like Martin, you demonized me. You called Martin a terrorist. You called him a socialist. You called him a whole lot of things. But all he did was gave you the truth. And that's what I gave you. The media didn't show you this. This is my 3rd letter. Yeah. The Get Shorty program. Media didn't show you the Get Shorty program. That's notarized. All right? Because the Get Shorty program was about Gov.O'Malley. It was about the money he was making off his mom machine. Now, Dick Gregory ain't here no more. But I done seen Dick Gregory. I done seen a whole lot of people. Johnny Unitas. A whole lot of people. Like I said, this is certified notarized. Because I'm legit with this. This is the Supreme Court from 2007. All right? Mr. Davis. This is the ACLU from 2007. Now, 1986. Because I'm giving you a Jailhouse Diary of 1986, 2011. And I'm showing you how you got slavery then and you got slavery now. We traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and we the cash crop. I'm showing you in the media how you use Bill Clinton, use that crime bill to make America safe, but all of that crime bill has made America's prison industry great. I showed you how you use that crime bill, and Kweisi and Mfume signed off on it. I use art and activism because I'm active in my community. I'm very artistic. I'm not autistic. I'm artistic. And I showed you the war on drugs because that's the fight. That's my fight in the struggle. the war on drugs. That's the Get Shorty program. All right. That's Vicki Lawrence from Mama's Place, and that's my son Philip. That's Governor Schaefer. That's my Governor Schaefer hat. That's Governor Schaefer. And that's Sam Cassell from the world champion Houston Rockets. Because like I said, I work for Sam Cassell. I work for Ray Lewis. I work for Ted Marshall-Broder. I work for Ozzie Newsome. I work for Kathleen Kennedy Towson. I work for a lot of y'all. And we was going to raise money for the homeless people. We was going to raise money for the youth. We was raising money in a non-profit charitable organization. That's the Secret Service, because like I said, I've been contacting the president since President Bush. I was making a documentary about your prison industry, the money you make behind it. And President Obama asked for an investigation. I'm the subject of the investigation. Tried to give it to Spike Lee, but Spike Lee didn't want no part of it. He was hauling ass when he seen me. You can ask Beth and everybody else. I had tickets to Spike Lee's events at the Inauguration Library downtown. He came to the front door. I hollered, "Mic check." They ran his ass to the back door. Then they didn't take no questions, no nothing. Let's do the right thing, Spike. I'm looking for a producer and a director. I already got the product. The product is the Maryland Baltimore County Detention Center. All right. I'm a whistleblower on the courts. Spring Grove Medical Facility. All right. That's March 2007, Department of Justice. I got a Department of Justice file. That's Patrick Fitzgerald. Like I said, I was making a documentary about your courts and your racism. These are the elected officials in the state of Maryland. These are the elected officials in the state of Maryland that had full knowledge of what I was doing. Senator James Broshin, parole and probation. 221 James Senate Office Building. Dan Morderheim, 304 Lowell House. Robert Zirkin, Lisa Gladden, Delegate McIntosh, Thelma Branch. Thelma Branch, that's who had it. McFadden, Jill P. Carter, Joan Carter Conway. All right. Also to go to the governor's office, the Minority Affairs Division, Director of Advocacy. All right. And I broke your criminal enterprise down just like this. I gave you a diamond. Like when you're playing basketball, you got a diamond. You got somebody underneath the goal. You got two wings, and then you got a guard. Then you play the game. Diamond offense. These are the people that know. I gave WJZ information. All right. Kai Jackson, Adam May, Bob Turk, Ron Matz, Tim Williams. Stein Saunders had a video, and he gave that video to PFK Boom. PFK Boom, Gigi Barnett, Marty Bass, Mike Shue, Richard Sher. Richard Sher did the first story on me on Hard Look in 1997. It was about your prison industry. Commode Emotion by the Baltimore Sun, The Comptroller, Bank of America, Department of Health. Fox 45 been having this. I gave Fox 45 a disc this morning, an external hard drive, exposing this 13 years of corruption. Karen Parks, Crime and Justice. She had it in 2008. Case number 2C00295962. Karen Parks had it in 2008. She had it in 2008. Then why did y'all lock me up in 2009? You feel me? Why did you lock me up in 2011? Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Wright, P.J. Crowley. I asked to give up my citizenship. I want to take black out of America like Marcus Garvey. Cut my finger. And I wouldn't leave him with. That's political figures with full knowledge. And DVDs. Senator Dodd from the Banking Committee. That's before Dodd retired, and he worked with Bank of America now. He sits on their board. Senator John McCain before he died, because I'm a veteran. But Senator Cardin's still alive. The Maryland Black Caucus is still here. Baltimore City Council is here. You contact Congressman Keith Ellison. He had this information. Congressman Cummings, Congressman Ruppersberger, and Senator Congressman Kirk from Illinois. Now, my lies is speaking to my truth is speaking to your lies. And if you look at a case in the 1920s called D.C. Stevenson, Governor O'Malley set up the same criminal enterprise. He set it up through his courts. He used Bernstein and Shellenberger in Baltimore City and Baltimore County. He used Commissioner Belfield, and he used Chief Hyatt and Chief Johnson out in Baltimore County. He used Judge Turnbull, Judge Pearson, Judge Holland, Judge Previous, Judge Janae, Judge Souter, yeah, and Judge O'Malley. Used her in Renter's Court. Eric Holder had this. I got a Department of Justice number. All right, and President Obama asked for an investigation. United States Constitution. My lawyer, Thomas Saunders, participated in this fraud. Like Marcus Garvey in the 20s, I'm asking for blacks to leave America. That's my end game. This is 1986. All right, page 79. I had a 500-page diary, but the state of Maryland took that diary on February the 7th. All right, that's my mother's birthday, Flag Day. That's Special Agent Richard McFeely of the FBI, 5/14/2011. Like I say, I got a very detailed breakdown of your criminal enterprise. This letter to Richard McFeely is very detailed, and it has Shellenberger's name written all over it. Front and back. Respectfully submitted, Dwayne G. Davis, Shorty. Now, add bit of the information. The state of Maryland on February the 11th, 2011 charged me with terrorism. They called me a terrorist. Evidence, my computer, and my means of making a living in Baltimore. I'm a caterer. I never signed a confidentiality with my clients. So I took everything that I've been making in Baltimore for the last 13 years and I put it on film. Ain't no law against making a movie. It is a law about what you did to me. And what you did to me is demonized me. You took me from my family. You kidnapped me like you kidnapped slaves in Africa. It took me, this is 2020, and I've been doing this since 2006. You made me homeless in 2011. I'm still homeless. 9 years later, direct and market this information to the public. If you go to Rachel Aragon from Fox 45 and the Fox Photos this morning at about 7 o'clock, I gave them a disc. I gave them a little HD to put in their computer, and it's got 13 years of information on it. Those 13 years is exposing the corruption and the racism in the media and these politicians. It names them, and it's legal mail involved in that. Now, I gave Jane Miller the same thing. I gave it to gave it to Jane Miller, Tim Tennyson, Wesley Laurie, or Laurie Wesley from the Washington Post. I gave it to Justin Fenton. And if you contact Diana Suggs from the Baltimore Sun, she got the whole book. Like I said, this is Media Monday because on Monday, February 2011, y'all demonized me. Y'all lied to the public. You knowingly lied to the public. Like I said, one of the stories that I made was about the media. It's called Portraits of a Letter. And you can see Portraits of a Letter on YouTube, Shorty's Voice. I'm doing this anchor broadcast because my end game is to get this to Netflix, Hulu TV, Apple TV. I'm going to have Baltimore Rewired, the true story about Baltimore's politics. Hassan Giordano, Ivan Brown, J. Wendell Gordon, Senator Cardin, Senator Mikulski, Senator Van Hollen, Andy Harris. I don't have to change nobody's name in this movie. This is all about Baltimore, and nobody never made a movie all about the war on drugs. This is about the war on drugs, and if you look over my shoulder, that's the breakdown of it. All right, that's the complete breakdown. And I'm getting ready to send that to President Trump. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna send President Trump the public justice sender envelope that the public justice sent back that Raleigh Hayes know about, the stuff that Paul J know about from the Real News, Stephen Janis, the Afro-American News. We're going to show you the role that the media plays in misinformation because they keep the underclass misinformed. My podcast is an avenue for those without a voice, for those without direction, for those that are feeling hopeless and helpless. I'm going to give you some help, and I'm going to give you some hope. And I'm going to give you some results because I'm not in this by myself. Mainstream media been demonizing us for the longest. If you look at media outlets in the 20s, the 30s, and 40s, you used us on your drug campaign. Man, um, mm. There's a movie that they made, and it was debuted at the White House, and it just showed the Ku Klux Klan. It showed, man, I cannot, something. It slips my mind right now. But I'm gonna give you some philosophy. I'm gonna give you some Plato's theory of the Republic. All right. To the man on the and the master done had us locked up far too long. There's a thing called Plato's theory of the Republic. I took a little theology, and I took some Greek theology. And one of the things that I learned was, it was called Analogy of a Cave, or Anthology of a Cave. And this is what I read in the book. And if I got it wrong, y'all can correct me, from all my literary individuals. If you was in a cave and all you had was shadows, and all you seen was shadows, and you was chained up to each other, and you was living in the cave all your life, without sunshine, without fresh air, without running water. I mean, you had everything that you needed in the cave. You ate, you slept, you had those bare necessities. But one day you got a chance to get out that cave. You slipped out. You got out of the cave one day. So what is your responsibility? If you got out the cave and you got to see the trees, the birds, and the rabbits, and you got to experience fresh air, what's your moral, ethical obligation? Is to return to the cave and bring somebody else out of the cave? To show people there's life outside of that cave? Because Baltimore is like crabs. If somebody get up, you try to pull them down. Well, I'm just the opposite. I'm trying to build a society off of ants. Ants build each other up. They got a common goal. Bees build each other up. So I'm going to create a buzz in 2020. We're going to create a better society in 2020. I want to build a better Baltimore, and the best way to do it is with food and a conversation. I feed Baltimore. I've been feeding Baltimore since 1997, and I learned it works. If it ain't broke, you ain't got to fix it. And I ain't broke. I ain't broken. I'm just like everybody else. So I'm without work. I'm without income. I've been blessed. I'd rather have 1 million friends than $1 million, because if I had $1 million, I have 1 million problems. If I got $1 from reaching one of my friends, I'm a millionaire, and it ain't hurting their pockets. I've been living off that philosophy since 2011, because I ain't had nothing, and I ain't got nothing. My computer's getting ready to die, so I gotta plug my computer up before my computer loses juice and I lose this live feed. Like I said, this is Anchor Podcast, FM, Anchor FM. This is a podcast. You get a visual on Facebook, Dwayne G. Davis. You get a visual on Facebook. All right. Audio on Anchor FM, Society Shame. Visual on Shorty's Facebook page. I'm going to give it to you the best of both worlds. One don't work, the other one will. The game is to be sold. It ain't to be, it's to be sold. It's not to be told. So I'm selling this. My end game is to sell this to Hulu, Netflix. If y'all watch Tiger King and you had 34 million views about this white man and this white lady and him doing them things with them tigers, let's see how many views we get about being black in America. Let's see how many views we get about activism in America. Let's see how many views we get about justice in America. So it stop being just us. I'm not just fighting here for Shorty. I'm fighting for Tawanda Jones and West Wednesday Coalition. I'm fighting for Kelly Davis and the Keith Davis family and the Team Keith Davis, because y'all just demonize black people and y'all just don't give us no rights. This ain't my fight. This is our struggle. I'm just the one with the time and the resources to keep that fight alive. I got fuel in this fire. I got fork in the fire. I got a reason to keep fighting, because I'm black in America. And if you black in America, you need to start standing up. This coronavirus ain't nothing compared to the murders and the lynchings that you've been doing to us for 400 years. Think about how many things we've been doing for 400 years. The Jews was in Egypt for 400 years. It's time to let us go. Ancestry.com. If you black in America and want to leave, cut your finger, ask President Trump to let me go, and tell him to send you away. Our money spent in any other country. If you take black out of America, it'll be worse than the coronavirus. You'll implode. Rome is burning. Let it go. That concludes my broadcast for May 5th, 2020. Tomorrow I'm going to have my son on my podcast. Tomorrow I'm going to call my son, and me and my son are going to be on this podcast. And we're going to talk about Baltimore's corruption. It's called Trifling Tuesday. Tune in tomorrow, 8 a.m. Anchor FM podcast. Shorty's Society Shame.